Could Goku become a shadow wielder? Find out on the next. All right, let me stop. First, I'm going to touch upon Blue Dragon the game, then I'm going to get into Blue Dragon the anime, because let's be honest, we already know what Goku can do. We just trying to figure out if he can get their powers, so let's get into it. In both the game and the anime, the characters possess a power called Shadow. Shadows are magical powers that manifest the wielder's shadow into powerful creatures. And people who wield this magic power are called shadow wielders. Go figure. The Blue Dragon Wiki also states that shadows are generated by the power of emotion, which sounds like something completely up Goku's alley now that I'm reading that out loud. Cause y'all know how our boy get, he be like, In the first game, most of the characters, including the three protagonists, Shu, Jiro, and Kluk, all receive their shadows by swallowing a light spear. Each shadow has its own unique form based off different mythical creatures such as a dragon, a minotaur, a phoenix. I'll show some examples on the screen. And weirdly enough, the light spears all came from the soul of one old crusty bootleg King Piccolo and Nene. That's the name of the antagonist of Blue Dragon the game. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, y'all thought I was gonna come up here and say nigga. Wait. You know you done fucked up, right? Damn. Besides being able to hit real creatures with their shadows, they also have access to literal magic, such as elemental magic like fire, ice, wind, support magic, which can amp up their teammates or protect them from something that'll just lead them to certain death, and healing, you know, typical JRPG stuff, so they're busted. Now we're gonna get into the anime that has way more shadow wielders than the games, which is what I would have said before researching and finding out the games had 2 sequels. But moving on. Wait, I forgot to talk about the last and most coolest power they have. Corporeal. Corporeal is what happens when the characters late game lose their powers and then regain them and gain a new ability which brings their shadow to the real world and changes its form. And with the looks of it, you should be seeing it on screen. They do one big ultimate attack that does a stupid amount of damage. I ain't even gonna lie, like it's kind of crazy. But yeah, y'all can watch the rest of this clip, then we'll get into the anime. Keep in mind, this attack costs no magic or health, by the way. Alright, so for the show, the shadows work a little differently than the games. They're over getting subcategories and all that mess, but let me go ahead and break it down to y'all. So for starters, in the anime, only the descendants of the 7 warriors of light have true shadows. All other shadows are considered artificial or man-made. True shadows have unique personalities separate from their user, unlike the games that just have them as an extension of the wielder. If you've ever watched the anime, one clear example is the differences between Shu, the wielder, and Blue Dragon, the shadow, because oh my lord, when he first came out, all he was doing was just being a nuisance. He was like Kurama. Like he was just like, Shu, you know what I respond to? Power! Give me more power! It was revealed that shadows originated from the darkness until they were fused with beings from the light. You remember the 7 warriors of light I was talking about earlier? The darkness is a supremely powerful primordial entity that existed before the beginning of time. It is said that any who touches the darkness will be swallowed and vanish from existence. That's crazy. Next variations are called artificial shadows. Artificial shadows are made with special machines in the Grand Kingdom. They're similar to true shadows in the sense of having their own personalities, but they're not quite as powerful. So they more like the Timu shadows. The last variation are called false shadows, which sound similar to artificial shadows, but the difference is they have similar powers to true shadows, but their powers don't come from a machine or from being a descendant of one of the warriors of light. It comes from the person absorbing some type of power such as darkness, and then the shadow manifesting as the person's inner will. So think of false shadows as similar to personas. The only user we know of is Zola, a character that's with the party members in the games and the anime. We also learned through her that false shadows lack personalities of their own, so that's another difference you can throw in there. Now, using all this knowledge, can Goku get a shadow from the game continuity or the anime continuity? That ain't got a lot of methods in the anime, I'm not gonna lie. But let's go ahead and get out the way the stuff that's just not gonna happen. He not gonna get a true shadow because he's an alien. He ain't no descendant of the 7 warriors. I doubt he getting the artificial shadow either, unless it's like he stumbles upon the Grand Kingdom. He's like, hi, my name's Goku. They just lock him up and decide to give a stranger a shadow, but you ain't gotta take it too serious. Speaking of stumbling upon something, he could stumble upon the game version and then they ship, see the orbs, then eat one, and hopefully he don't choke on some balls again. But I could definitely see my boy pulling out a false shadow. Like if he got teleported into the Blue Dragon anime and he was in a fight or something, I could see him being like, trying to go Super Saiyan, then a shadow pop out. As for its appearance, I could easily see it being inspired by the Great Ape transformation. Imagine like Goku going Super Saiyan or UI even, and then a big silver ape just pops up behind him looking menacing, and then combine his abilities that he already has with the abilities of a shadow. Boy, he about to be a jack of all trades. I ain't even gonna lie to you. A couple of ideas I got from the top of my head is, imagine he firing a Kamehameha, but his opponent is like way stronger than him. Since he has shadow powers, he could put some razzle dazzle on it, and boom, he negates their durability to the point where at the lowest end, he scratches them up, damages them. But at the highest end, he just straight pierces through their chest or something. Something crazy like that. Now that I think about it, during the Android saga, if Goku had shadow powers, would he have been able to cure his heart virus? Like, what if he just had a spell, like some white mage spell that could just snap and it's gone? That'd be crazy. Yo, what if while he's using Kaioken, he casts a regen spell? So all the damage he gets healed. And then what if that triggers his Saiyan biology and then he gets a Zenkai? Bro would just be farming Zenkais every fight he's in from now on. That'd be so busted. Wait, that's broken, dog. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below, cause hold on, man.